Hi, I'm Stephanie Ratchin. I'm a staff representative in the BCGEU's Advocacy Department, as well as the Privacy Officer. What are my privacy obligations as a local officer? As a local officer, you should familiarize yourself with the BCGEU's privacy policy and ensure your actions are consistent with that policy, as well as the requirements of the Personal Information Protection Act to use, collect, and disclose information only as permitted under that act. Am I allowed to talk about grievances and grievers at executive or component meetings? In some cases, personal information should only be disclosed for one of the purposes outlined in the BCGEU's privacy policy, or where the member has provided their explicit consent. Open discussion at executive or component meetings about issues involving sensitive personal information should generally be avoided. Information about a person's medical condition, family status, or other information that might be construed as sensitive should be treated with a high level of caution about disclosing it at a meeting. What can I use membership lists for? Is there anything that I cannot use membership lists for? The BCGEU's privacy policy outlines the reasons why the BCGEU collects, uses, and discloses personal information. As outlined in the policy, the BCGEU retains certain personal information in order to maintain a complete record of membership in the union, maintain communication with members and respond to their inquiries, investigate and settle grievances, as well as appeals and claims, collect and manage dues and assessments, assist the union in representing its members with respect to employment under the collective agreement, verify eligibility for strike pay and benefits, provide information about union membership programs and benefits, and administer the business of the union such as component or local business, correspondence and research such as membership surveys. We also use it to provide web information services such as address changes or email bulletins and convention or conference registration, and communicate about local issues of interest and concern to our membership through union campaigns and actions. Personal information may be collected, used, or disclosed for any of these identified purposes. If members' personal information is needed for any purpose other than those that have been set out in the privacy policy, the BCGEU is not authorized to use or disclose it without obtaining additional consent from the member. Is my BCGEU email address subject to Freedom of Information requests? And what about my personal email address? Your BCGEU email may be subject to disclosure requests under PIPA. Your personal email is not subject to PIPA unless you are sending emails to a BCGEU staff or another person with an @bcgeu.ca email. The BCGEU is not subject to the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, or FIPA. FIPA applies only to public bodies. However, your correspondence with a public employer may be disclosed by an employer under that act. If I have questions or concerns about privacy, who should I contact? The BCGEU's Privacy Officer is a resource for questions about how personal information should be handled. You can email privacy.officer@bcgeu.ca.